Nonetheless, we are pilgrims together. I want to make space for you, especially if your singleness has been different from mine. You should know some things about me before we begin. My singleness happens to be in a Western, evangelical, heteronormative context. I'm an upper middle class, white, 30-something-year-old, cisgender, straight woman. I've never been married or engaged, and for the cherry on top of my singleness sundae, I'm a virgin, too. I like to joke that I'm a dime a dozen in that there are plenty of women just like me. But it's true. They are funny, smart, educated, well-resourced, think similar things, live similar lives. I check all the boxes that my evangelical bubble wants me to, but I have grown weary of this bubble. I've needed to say yes to a pilgrimage beyond my context. I know there are many of you out there, my fellow pilgrims, who have different stories and backgrounds. I want to honor that. Let the parts of my story that relate to you speak to your life and heart, and ditch the rest. It's okay. Our journeys are different. My life is not prescriptive. If your singleness is much younger, praise God. If yours is singleness after loss, death, or divorce, you are loved and welcome here. If your singleness doesn't include virginity, know that it's not less valid. Perhaps your singleness is much older than mine. God bless you. I hope that some of your singleness out there is male singleness and BIPOC singleness and all types of queer singleness. And I hope my story is a blessing to you too. I hope some parts resonate deeply. But your story is your own. Your story is beautiful and important and likely uniquely challenging. My singleness has privilege attached to it, which at times makes it a really comfortable singleness. There are so many ways I don't have to struggle in my singleness because of the privilege given to my sexuality, gender identity, and race. Although many hurdles may be found along the path of singleness, I cannot speak to all of them in this book. I simply share my story and offer some ways for us to step closer to our Creator. It's all I can do here. As you sit with me in my story, I encourage you to think of yours. Your story matters. You'll notice repeating themes throughout this book, those I needed to learn over and over until they sunk in. Learning about God's mercy, grace, patience, and love is still central to my daily life. I pray now that Jesus will show his mercy, grace, patience, and steadfast love in your life too. In addition to sharing about my life, each chapter includes a pilgrimage moment. These are opportunities for you to pause before moving forward. Pilgrimage is an ancient contemplative practice that's been around for generations. Some of the pilgrimage moments are based in other contemplative practices of old. My hope is that they give you practical steps into the presence of God to journey more fully with Him in your singleness. Have a blessed journey. 1. Singleness is not the problem. So, Morgan, what was your response tonight? We were sitting outside the student union on a late September evening after our weekly gathering. Morgan was a new freshman whose parents had met in our InterVarsity Christian Fellowship chapter in the 1990s. She was 18, truly fresh. I had just given a talk and invited the students to respond by writing down a burden they needed to lay at the foot of the cross. We set up a foam cross for students to tack them to. "Well, I was thinking about my singleness," Morgan said. "Really? Why's that?" I asked, curious because I hadn't mentioned relationships in my talk that night. "I'm just so afraid that I won't meet my husband. What if I don't? And I know I'm young, everyone says that, but it's just a worry that I have to keep giving to Jesus." I smiled. "That's fair, Morgan. I'm glad you felt like you could do that tonight. But I do want to reassure you. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're 18 and so beautiful. You will absolutely find love. I'm sure of it." I know, but it's just, what if I don't?